Good evening everyone, welcome to FGM Cast, presenting the ANZCAR Truck Series for the final time in 2021. It feels weird to say that, but it is the last round of the season, the third season, can you believe it? And we're here at a track that I've never broadcast from before, but fortunately I am joined by somebody who I have certainly broadcast with before. Carl with you. Good evening, Carl. Welcome to the start of the week.
Good evening, Stuart. Good evening, everybody. Yes, we are here tonight at Lucas Oil Raceway here in Indiana. The sort of slightly smaller track that sits in the state and near Indianapolis. It's not quite the most famous circuit in the area, but there is one that's slightly more famous, apparently. I'm not sure which one it is, though.
No idea at all. Maybe that could be the trivia question for tonight. But be that as it may, we're here to decide and crown another champion.
We are indeed, yes. We come off of last week, of course, and this week we are looking to claim the truck champion, and it looks like it's going to be very hard to dethrone Jason Martin. Obviously, there are a couple of drop rounds to come into effect for the championship results, but as it stands, Martin has got a significant lead and has had a fantastic season so far. Let's just go through those standings as they are. So Jason Martin currently has a 46-point lead over Matty Raymond in second. He's only got 3 points ahead of Dave Douglas, of course, in third position. Fourth is Josh Micklemore, 6 points behind Dave Douglas, 55 points down overall. Fifth is Dyson, Andrew Dyson, 66 off the lead. Sixth place, we have Danny G, 71 off the lead. 104 off the lead. Seventh is Aidan Schultz. Ronnie Curtis is in joint eighth with Stevie Dubb, both 106 points down. And Matty Hunter sits in the top 10, 108 points off the lead. So that battle for second in the championship is going to be very hot indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. It is, particularly those drop rounds coming into it as well. Going to be a spice the meatball, but we've got to get through tonight before we're going to find out who takes out the championship. Strange things can happen, but it would be very strange indeed if we weren't looking at Jason Martin from Mitch Motorsport as the champion of this series. But before we get there, we've got a race to bring your way. We've got 130 laps here tonight at Lucas Oil Raceway, and this will be the final race, as we said, of the year. Can you tell that we're keen that it's the final race of the year? We're keen for a number of different reasons, but it's been a long season, and this is our last full week of the year on FGM Cast. Of course, we have our usual rundown for the week, starting out tonight with the trucks. We've got the Oz Pro-Am Sim Series returning tomorrow from Mid-Ohio for the Pass 2, starting from 7:20, and then the main game at around about 10 past 8. Wednesday nights are done for the year with the Xfinity Series finishing up, and then Thursday night we do have the Cup, where equally we will crown another champion for the year. So plenty to come this week, plenty of crowns to be handed out, and we'll see what happens. Of course, the Cup, the main game, the big one, that's still to be decided. So don't go too far away from FGM Cast for the week. But tonight, Carl, this is a pokey little joint by the look of it.
Yeah, it's a nice little tiny track, 1.10 kilometres in length. So it is a very small little circuit indeed. It's going to take you about 23 seconds at most to get around here. So it's a fairly short little track. It's deceptively tricky to work around, though. It's one of those tracks that is relatively small, but it is a track where it's very easy to make a mistake. Obviously, a track this small, you're sort of going to be quite close to each other as well, so you have to be very cautious of other people. So it is one of those very, very short tracks that's very easy to have a little mistake on, but it is very rewarding to get it right as well.
One of my specialities, being very cautious of other people. We've got to obviously get through qualifying, so we'll jump on board with one of the drivers and get them to take us through a lap or two around here for solo qualifying, coming up in just on 4 minutes time. But before that, I wanted to just touch in with you, Carl, about the how am I going to put it? we've got so Jason Martin, obviously leading the race for the championship at the moment. Jason's history with the ANZCAR long and enduring. Is this won't be his first title if he takes it out, will it?
No, not by a long shot. Jason has got a few under his belt from a few different series. Jason is he's one of the most successful drivers for a very good reason, in all honesty. He's not had the best of luck in some standings, but he has taken out. I'm pretty sure he's taken out the championship in every series now. So maybe not the Xfinity. I'm trying to think if he's taken out the Xfinity championship, but he has taken out a couple of truck titles in the past. So he's going to be looking. It's not to say adding another trophy to the cabinet, but it is that thing of getting another championship under his belt and just showing that he is one of the. He's almost unbeatable in a truck. When it comes out there, he is very, very hard to beat. And when you do beat Jason Martin in a truck, you can feel very good about yourself.
Yeah, I think self-confessed, Jason says he's not a big fan of the Thunder Series car, the Xfinity car. So probably not a surprise if that's the one that's missing from the cabinet. But of course, as a team, Mitch Motorsport have taken out that title in the past. So a very successful team across the ANZCAR gambit, having taken out all of the titles at some point in time. So of course, incumbent occupant of the seat, Edward Foster in the Truck Series, is not here to defend his title. So it will be a new champion tonight.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, in that respect. Mitch Motorsport have the opportunity to take out all three at the end of the year. Of course, we saw, of course, Hamish Gallagher taking out the Thunder Series, taking out the Xfinity Championship on Wednesday last week. Absolute fantastic job. It's a reverse in the Cup, of course, because Gallagher's got to try and chase down Foster for that win. But Gallagher could, and so could Jason Martin and Josh Micklemore, indeed take out the Cup victory as well. So they're not out of it yet in that respect. Mitch could wrap up every championship at the end of the season, of course. We saw Stevie Dubs, Stephen Williams taking out the first season of the trucks this year, earlier on. And, it's been a very Mitch-dominated season. The only thing they haven't really done was the fledgling ARCA series earlier on this season, which was taken out by Lachlan Urquio, but they have pretty much dominated every other series they've been in, and they have, they've got a lot of wins under their belt, and they are very hard to beat indeed.
Yeah, well, let's see how these last couple play out. Of course, the victory on Wednesday night meant that, well, not the victory, but the outcome of the championship on Wednesday night meant that Hamish went back-to-back in the Thunder Series as well, of course, taking out Season 1. So lots of Mitch Motorsport victories this season. I think next season, again, it's going to be nice and tough at the front of the field with a couple of squads priming themselves for next year. But we've got one round here of the trucks to go. Dave Douglas has jumped into the chat and said that it is a very, very loose out there on the track. So in terms of how the car feels, I think his sentiments probably echoed by a couple of the other drivers as well.
Big question is, can Dave Douglas find a victory lane here tonight, like he did in Phoenix? Snuck his truck into a victory lane in Phoenix, I hear. And it wasn't just sneak it in for the fun. He actually got the victory, so it worked out very well.
He did a good one. And we might, if he gets out quick enough, which it doesn't look like he's going to do. So let's jump on board with Matty Hunter, Series Administrator. Give him a huge thank you for putting together and contributing to everything that is ANZCAR. One of the unsung heroes, of course. Makes sure that all of this stuff can happen. So we'll jump on board with him for a lap as he gets underway.
Coming into the first corner here, we've got a very small degree of banking, just about 12 degrees of banking here through turns 1 and 2 onto the back straight here. Very easy to lose the rear onto this section here. First couple of laps are going to be the important one. Probably your first lap's going to be one of your fastest laps. You might get a little bit more out the second lap. It's just going to be very close either way. You just got to get this exit perfect here and try and get across the line without making a mistake. And that's the hardest thing to do on a track like this. It's very easy to make a small little mistake mid-corner, lose the rear, or touch the fence as well. That concrete barrier is ever close to the vehicle. You can see how close Matty Hunter gets up towards the wall there, trying to get as much speed as possible for the turn in. Gets a good run into the final corner here. You can see the sun is just setting here tonight. Cuts it across the line, and Matty Hunter jumps up into P6, I think.
Yeah, he has jumped up straight into P6.
So nice little lap there from Matty Hunter. Currently Ruben Phelps leading at the moment, having a very good end of his season in the trucks. Of course, taking out first win for Ozia and for himself in ANZCAR as well the other week in the truck series.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh Micklemore's just jumped up to P1 provisionally with a 22.93. Had to pull out of the second lap because he did collect the wall just on the entrance into turn 1. So one to watch is Scotty Griffiths, who's just coming out now. He has been pretty quick on the short tracks and has got a good amount of speed on these as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Scotty Griffiths being up towards the top of the pack tonight, and we'll might see him having a bit of a battle. So we'll keep an eye on him here as he gets halfway through his first flying lap. Just having a quick look through the list to see who we've got in the field tonight. It's a little bit down on normal, which you'd expect for the last round of the season. But Scotty Griffiths bang straight up into P2. Just 5/100ths behind provisional pole sitter Josh Micklemore. So can he do better on this second lap? Everyone so far doing better on their second lap, so you fancy his chances as he crosses the line.
I think he might have just given the wall a little tiny bit of a rub just before he got to the line, and that might have just taken that lap out. Yeah, he just had that tiniest little scrape against the wall, and unfortunately that took away that lap from him. But still up in P2 at the moment. Jason Martin just appearing on track at the moment. The 21 is creeping its way out the pits, along with the 24, I believe, of Danny G. So those two Mitch Motorsport cars creeping onto the circuit and seeing where they can start from. They're going to want a good, strong finish tonight. They had a really good race last week, Mitch Motorsport. Jason taking the victory at Charlotte, with Josh Micklemore a thousandth behind him, with Dave Douglas very much a thousandth behind him. It was a pretty much photo finish for those three trucks.
Interesting, Jason's first lap not counting. So he's got put the pressure on to make sure he gets it done in this second lap.
Not a good lap there from Martin. He just got really tailing on the exit, so must have just put the line or just gone off somewhere. So, oh wait, no, does jump up.
I was about to say, yeah, he's just jumped up to P1, so 22.88 there. Danny G currently sitting in P5. He's going to finish his second flying lap. Did a 23.02. First one out. Looks like he's just got real close to the wall there as well. It might just be that camera angle we've got there, Carl, makes it look like everyone's running into the wall, but Danny G does improve. There's a 23 flat, jumps up into P4, and that will be just about all she wrote for qualifying, with Lefborg, my apologies, Bud, Raymond Tompkins and Brent Hobbs deciding not to put in a lap. How unusual that Matty Ray's decided not to qualify.
Strange, isn't it?
Very weird.
Chris Lefborg didn't get a chance to run his Melbourne Cup paint last week, so he's racing it this week. So a very cool little paint job on that truck tonight. But we are getting ready for the final race of the season here at Lucas Oil Raceway, Indianapolis. So it is on the front row, Jason Martin with Josh Micklemore. Second row, we have Scotty Griffiths and Danny G. Third row, Phelps and Vickers. Fourth, we have Dave Douglas and Okio. Fifth, we have Rosier and Curtis. Sixth row, we have Schroeder, Hunter. Seventh is Norman Clark, Justin Howe. Eighth, we have Philip Howell and Georgeson. Ninth, we have Burkick and Raymond. Then it's Brent Hobbs, Bud, Lifberg, and Doddy Tompkins towards the back. So 22 trucks out here tonight. So even though it's a slightly smaller field than normal, probably don't really want to have 40 odd trucks out here tonight because it would be a bit of a tight squeeze. So not a bad thing to have a few less vehicles out here tonight.
Absolutely not. And looking to not jump into any record books tonight in terms of cautions as well. We've had a couple of those of late. So just looking to get through this one fairly smoothly. Anyone is listening out there. So it is the final race of this season. It's been an action-packed season as well. There's been some really, really good results over the year. Some very, very close racing as always, as you'd expect. It's been a really, really good result. And lots of different winners as well. We're back and had a look through the season. Too sure if we've got that data available, Carl, but I reckon we've had 5 or 6 at least different winners this season. I think all of the Mitch boys at some stage or another have taken out a win. Obviously, Ruben Phelps has had a win. The Foster's won. There's been lots of winners in this series, so it's been a good one. Again, the trucks retain their popularity. You see the drivers split the line here just to make things a little bit easier as they get out of pit lane.
Well, in
single lane.
In the last 7 races, it's been 7 different winners. We've had Dyson, Russell, Skurlock, Williams, Douglas, Phelps and Martin taking wins. Of course, earlier in the season, we saw Josh Micklemore as well. So quite a few different names up there taking out victories this season. But will Jason Martin do the double tonight and manage to take out another victory in his fantastic truck campaign tonight? Or will one of the other Mitch boys just take away that victory from him and give them a chance to get a little bit of glory tonight while having a good fun race? We'll soon find out. The pace truck will go around for another lap, of course, 2 pacing laps behind it on this very short track to try and get a little bit of temperature into those tyres. The drivers will be just dragging the brakes a little bit just to get the temperature up there, doing a little bit of wheel spinning here and there. You can see Josh Micklemore absolutely accelerating and braking very hard to try and get some temperature into that truck. And you want to make sure you've got temperature in those brakes as well when you get into the first corner.
This wouldn't surprise me if you went caution free here. Big call, but we also had 4 non-starters. We're about to go green. The last time, 2021 ANZCAR Truck Series on FGME cast. Not for the last time. It's Jason Martin leading us away, and he's dropped the hammer. Gets away early. Josh Micklemore goes well with him on the outside line. Danny G, the team, will be looking to do the same thing. Scott Griffiths is down low. He's just trying to maintain his place here, not get shut out by these Mitch boys early on in the race.
You've got to be careful not to get shuffled too quickly, but Martin does indeed get a nice start there and gets into the lead. Ruben Phelps trying to squeeze his way past Ben Vickers at the moment. Vickers actually getting a nice run off the high line, getting through up the top. He's going to be side by side for a couple of laps here. Phelps on the inside, Vickers on the outside. Okay, just sitting behind him with Dave Douglas, Riley Curtis as well. Dave Douglas just gets a big squiggle of the rear end, loses a little bit of grip on the exit, but manages to save that truck. Meanwhile, up the front, Martin is running away like a whippet with a bum full of dynamite. That was Dave Douglas just getting a bit loose on the start-finish straight. Manages to save the truck though, so we remain green here. But Martin is trying to run away a little bit. It is a Mitch 1-2-3 at the moment up the front of Martin, Micklemore, Danny G, Scott Griffith sitting in 4th, Ben Vickers 5th, OK 6th, Phelps 7th, 8th is Curtis, 9th is Justin Howard, Matty Hunter sitting in 10th at the moment.
Justin Howard just getting a little bit loose there out of the final corner. And it's just as well to catch it, so it's very cool temperatures to get started. Some of the drivers just struggling a little bit for drive. We're going a little bit hard too early.
Of course, sun going down, so those temperatures will just keep dropping and plummeting away. But tyres will start warming up on the trucks as well. And that's one of the main things, is they will get nice and warm and toasty on the vehicles. And of course, once you get your brakes and things like that going through there, that adds a little bit more heat radiating out through the tyres, and you see that a little bit more grip.
A little bit back to Jason, back from Jason Martin, I should say. He's done a 23.04, and Micklemore with 23.6. 23.4 for Danny G, the assassin. They're trying to just move ahead, open that gap up to Scotty Griffith the best they can.
And Howe making a nice move on Ruben Phelps at the moment, a little bit further down, just in front of Matty Hunter, gets the move done. Justin Howe getting down underneath Phelps, and Matty Hunter thinking he's going to get in on this action as well, trying to make the move at the same time. Can't quite make it, doesn't have enough grip on the front at the moment for Hunter. Can't quite get it past Ruben Phelps as it stands. So a few moves going on up at the front though. The silent assassin Danny G is trying to make a move on his teammate, sneaking his way up into P2. There's 24 down the inside of the 31, trying to make a move for P2 at the moment. We know one thing about Mitch Motorsport, and they love to race each other.
Absolutely they do. It's always a good time when they're all up the front. It's going to be
on. We've got an incident. Luke Georgeson has gone around. Will we see a caution flag? Yes, we do.
Damn, only 8 laps in. I thought I was on for a short thing.
It's your fault.
I thought I was on for a short thing. It was even a tiny little accident. Why? There's no caution there.
Luke Georgeson just losing the rear of the truck. Unfortunately, couldn't quite gather it up in time. Once he got down onto the inside, into that sort of low area there of the raceway, couldn't actually stop the truck, and it just sailed on into the wall. Unfortunately, bounced back, and the caution flag flies for the first time tonight. 9 laps in.
No damage to the truck whatsoever.
Well, it's a nice bouncy little barrier down there. So
yep. Must be made out of rubber. Anyhow,
I guess it is after dark as well, so it allows the team to do better.
Very good. Well done. So who's going to jump into pit lane here? Just the most of the mid pack. So, of course, unlimited tyre sets here in the trucks. So why not spend them while you can? Certainly don't get a refund on them at the end of the season. But out at the front, particularly so far, kept that extra heat in the tyres. Starting out on cold, as we know from experience, can cause cautions. These guys will be trying to get through this without that happening.
Yeah, they'll be wanting to get a nice run here. I think Ruben Phelps is actually coming into pit lane. He's seen a lot of other people coming in, and he's decided he's going to join them. This is going to lose him a lot of positions, of course, because he's going to be coming in on his own, and that's going to drop him sort of towards the back of the pack.
Yeah.
But that does mean that he's got those nice fresh tyres, so I think Ruben Phelps deciding he's going to try this option as well. So this could absolutely be a winning decision, or a decision that just doesn't really pay off for these guys. We'll soon find out. Fuel-wise, not going to be a problem tonight. It's one of those tracks where you sort of can last without pretty much stopping, especially if you get a caution. Obviously not a very long track indeed either. So it's all about tyres, and at this stage they won't have had too much punishment, but fresh tyres are often better than not so fresh tyres.
Drivers always want new tyres where they can get them. So have you got any interesting facts for us about this Raceway car? I didn't even know it existed, to be brutally honest, which is naive of me, but I did think there was only one track in this part of town. Didn't realise this one was here. It's known mainly for, there's a drag racing strip here from what I understand.
It is. It's also the, I might save that little factoid for a little bit this one, because the pace truck is coming in, and Jason Martin is about to lead us away once more as the green flag is about to drop here at Lucas Oil Raceway, the home of the magnificent Indianapolis Motor Speedway Park area. Some very cool little track areas and a few other weird little things here. But Jason Martin once again gets a good start. This time Micklemore's gotten away with him well. How are those fresh tyres going to behave for the drivers behind? That's going to be the interesting thing to watch out. Micklemore gets a good run on Martin there. Martin loses a little bit of pace. Might even lose a spot to Danny G at the moment. A little bit further back, a little bit of contact, I think, from Eagle Burkitt on the back of Dave Douglas or Riley Curtis. They've managed to squeeze past him. Those fresh tyres are looking a little bit racy at the moment. Keep an eye on those guys as this race starts to unfold. Fresh tyres are starting to move up the field.
Ben Vickers just gets down underneath as we've got another crash here with Matty Hunter and Eagle Burkitt causing the second caution of the night. I was just saying, Ben Vickers there just struggling for a little bit of turn. Almost got up into Lachlan Urquio just on the exit of the corner. Urquio took advantage, got out in front of him. Mercer saw Scott Griffiths with a couple of internet connectivity issues, just blinking away in the front there on a short track. That's not what the other drivers were wanting to see. Anyway, let's jump on here with Matty Hunter and see what happened between himself and Igor Burkic.
Yeah, it looks like Burkic's actually just lost the rear of the truck up on the high line and gone into Hunter, unfortunately, just sort of losing it on the exit. Couldn't quite gather it up in time and just caught the front of Matty Hunter, who was trying to sneak his way underneath him and get in front of Burkic on those slightly fresher tyres. Did not work out for Matty Hunter though. Bit of a collection into the wall, a little bit of damage on the front of that truck, but that will buff out. She'll be right, mate.
Shouldn't make too much difference tonight. Obviously, you always prefer to have a fresh one. What's going on there? I'd say that there's absolutely a failure there for Noddy Tompkins. This is driven straight up into the wall under the caution.
That's an interesting one, man.
Yeah, all that damage on the truck just then, just from driving straight up into the wall.
Yeah, Hunter had to really take a bit of avoiding action, managed to stop from hitting him. But yeah, Tompkins just coming in late tonight as well, so he's 14 laps down, and must be some kind of technical failure there. Unfortunately, something's playing up with the rig. Not what you want to have happen.
No. But what you do want to have happen is a start like Josh Mickelmore got. So he's moved up into the lead position. Maybe this will be the opportunity for Danny G to get a start last night, like Sebastian Vettel did. My goodness me, like Max Verstappen did in the Formula One.
Going back in time a bit there.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was. He did finish 7th, I think, Vettel. So we didn't have a bad run last night.
Not at all. So, Lucas Oil Speedway is the home to the first artificially built what? And it is motorsport related.
Okay. First artificially built. I mean, any number of different things. I'm going to go...
Back in 2011.
Artificially built. I don't know. Then you say motorsport related. Oil refinery?
No. There's been plenty of oil refineries built before 2011. Yes. It is the first drag boat racing course.
Ah, rightio. That's fun stuff to watch, actually.
It's an absolute ridiculous sport. It is fantastic. I'm a huge lover of anything with an engine that goes fast, but drag boat racing and even speedboat racing in most forms is one of the scariest things in existence. Having spent most of my young life playing around with very fast boats, I can say from experience it is very scary sometimes, and especially when you get thrown out of one, but that's a story for a different day. Mickelmore's going to lead away here. The pace truck has gone in. Martin's going to be sitting on the outside. How are the Mitch boys going to go? We're going to find out shortly as we go back to green flag racing here at Lucas Oil Raceway.
When's he going to drop the hammer? Now is the answer to that question. Martin goes well with him. Danny G gets a good start too, so the Mitch boys file into turn 1. Lachlan Urquhart just trying to make his way up into that high line behind Scott Griffiths. He's not going to be able to do it. Ben Vickers just gets the nose of the Juice Digital 77 up in front. Urquhart's going to fight back down here. Philip Howe looking like Justin Howe looking like he's making a move as well, just underneath Jay Brazier, who gets up into the wall in the 486. That slows him up. Urquhart attacking Vickers still. Power getting just struggling to get the power down in the 78. It just gets the rear end loose.
They're starting to plough a little bit with the fronts, just struggling a little bit with some understeer on the exit as Dave Douglas gets a big... Was that Dave Douglas? I think Dave Douglas, yes, does get a big snap there. Manages to save the truck back.
There he
Slap
goes.
out again on Dave. Manages to save it again somehow. Keeps that truck pointing in the proper direction, but that's going to not be good for him or his times.
Deliberate. Just trumped it. Gave it plenty of opposite lock. No, that's certainly not conducive to good times, and they will be paying for that for the next lap or two while those rears cool down. Luke Georgian makes the move as Dave gets loose again, so he's losing positions. He did say it was pretty loose. He's showing it here. He's now got Brent Hobbs to deal with. Meanwhile, up at the front, Josh Mickelmore, as you would expect, still has Jason Martin hot on his heels for company. They've opened a gap up now over Danny G and Scott Griffiths behind.
Riley Curtis trying to make a little bit of a move as well. A little bit further back, Riley Curtis getting a bit of a run on Jay Brazier, just manages to save that one, but the battle is up at the front between Mickelmore and Martin at the moment, and Mickelmore is currently holding the position very well. A few slide jobs happening throughout the course now. The track is getting to that point where they can just start playing around a little bit. The back end stepping out, but they're managing to keep it there, and this is going to be the thing that's going to help the drivers that have that dirt racing experience. They're probably going to be enjoying this quite a lot, because it's almost like driving on a bit of a dirt track right now. Very low grip, that back end stepping out, you're just doing that little bit of slide job to get it round, and we know one thing, and that is Mickelmore and Martin both have a fair amount of dirt racing experience under their belt, and they do like that kind of thing, so not surprising to see them doing well at the front.
Now having a look at Mike Schroeder, who's just holding off Justin Howe, but attacking Riley Curtis.
Martin making the move, tries to go down the inside to make a big slide job on Mickelmore. Can't quite make it happen this time round, but he's definitely looking pretty racy at the moment. He's able to make that slightly lower line work for this section. He's just got to try and make it work long enough. You can see Mickelmore just getting a little bit wobbly on the exit. That truck is just not quite gripping up on that high line at the moment. That back end stepping out a little bit. Martin somehow finding some grip down there, but this is costing them a little bit of time, and it's just giving Danny G the opportunity to close the gap on the leaders right now. Martin, big lunge from the first corner, can't quite make it this time. Again, he is really trying to push it. He's probing attacks on Mickelmore at the moment. These boys are fighting hard for the win as it stands. We've still got 100 laps remaining tonight. It's not over by a long shot.
Not even close, not even just one little bit. So this has brought Danny G into it. And he's now putting the pressure on the back of the 21. So how long will that last? Look like Igor Burkick's had an issue in the background. I think he's jumped to pit lane. In fact, it was on the exit of pit lane.
Yeah, he just lost it on the front straight. No caution flag came out, but quite a lot of damage to the front of that truck. He might be struggling with some engine or cooling issues, but the yellow flag has fallen now.
It's Noddy Tompkins. I wonder if he's had another hardware issue there. Go back and have a quick look.
Back end has just stepped out on him, and he's managed to collect it and get going again, but unfortunately the flag's decided it's going to get called quite quickly. Unfortunately, that's the problem with AI flag marshals, is they're pretty quick on the old trigger, and they were a little bit too trigger happy for that one, I'd say, because he pretty much saved that one. Mickelmore in pit lane. Everybody else in pit lane other than Urquo and Martin at the moment. They're going to stick it out. So we have got some different strategies playing out now, ladies and gentlemen. We have got people on different tyre strategies coming in. Luke Georgeson, Matt Hunter stick it out as well. So we have got some fresh tyres now. We've got some fresh-ish tyres, and we've got some old tyres. There is a mix of different strategies going on throughout the field now, and we have got a few trucks between the guys on the freshest tyres. So this should be an interesting battle.
Yeah, this will certainly change it up a bit. Martin, Mickelmore probably just burning a little bit at the start there, so the timing quite good for the caution. So see how that plays out for him. Martin's going to have to do some defending.
Hunter just came in as well, so Matty Hunter deciding he's going to come in rather than risk it staying out there.
Not the worst idea. these few laps under caution. This was back underway again. So this has left Urquio, and it's played out well for Luke Georgeson. He pit during that first caution, so his tyres, he wouldn't have taken tyres, in fact he would have just actually no, he did, my apologies.
He did take tyres. Yeah, he decided to take some tyres early on. He deserves this tonight. Luke Georgeson definitely going to win this race, so a little bit of payback from some chat earlier on for Luke Georgeson. So he is he's ready to get a victory tonight, I'd say, for Luke Georgeson in the After Dark Racing team.
He would be.
We'll see if the old curse works this time round. I don't know if it works if you actually if you use it in such terms. We'll see how strong our curses have become, Stuart. But no, good run for Luke so far. He's been having a good one, and I think I may have just heard that. I just got to check something. I'll be back in a second. Sorry.
Well, in the meantime, the lights are out on the pace truck, so we're now just waiting to go racing again. Because it's a bit of a mixed bag up at the front here now, but Josh Mickelmore is in fourth on fresh tyres, so he will be fighting to get away, get out into the lead of this one on that fresh product.
Interesting.
Two out there who haven't pit so far, which is Jason Martin and Lachlan Urquio. As the pace truck is about to pull in and has done so. Get this one underway. Martin goes early, goes very early. He gets a good drop on Lachlan Urquio. Urquio now already under pressure from Josh Mickelmore on those fresh tyres. He'll have to be careful because they'll be cold. Danny G, the same thing behind him. Along with Luke Georgeson, Lachlan Urquio are going to have to fight their way for a little while on the cold product. On the older product, I should say.
Yeah, the one thing is those older tyres will warm up a little bit quicker, so they'll be able to get their tyre temperature cycle in a little bit quicker. They might not have quite as much grip straight away, but they should start plateauing a little bit as well. So it's not going to be a huge difference here. They've not done a huge amount of miles on those tyres. We'll see how this one pans out. Just one of the things that was just noticed was there's a little bit of a prize for the drivers tonight, as a certain item that iRacing provides for racing was not turned off, so there is some fast repairs out there tonight for those boys. So hopefully we don't get to see too many have to be used, but they have got the options to use them tonight, so that might encourage a couple of different strategies tonight, and we may see a couple of people sending it a little bit harder than normal, so we'll see how that affects the race.
Must admit, I did think that I had seen repairs being carried out. One of the cars in pit lane just popped itself back to normal, but I thought it could have just been iRacing things doing things to my eyes. So thanks for confirming that.
Mickelmore making the move on Urquio at the moment up the front, getting down the inside. He's got a good run here. Those fresh tyres are going to be helping out a little bit, but gets a bit tail happy. Just in the back, Ben Vickers just saves the truck from a dash to oblivion. Good cat-like reflexes from the Juice Digital driver there to save that one from heading into a disaster of a crash. But meanwhile, up the front, it is Martin leading Urquio as it stands. Those fresh tyres not being too much of a game changer at the moment, but we'll see how this one pays off. Fastest man on track, though, is Jason Martin on those older tyres. So obviously those things that still have a little bit of pace to give.
Yeah, interesting. I thought he was going to be able to walk right by him, but not the case.
Now, one of the things about a track like this, of course, is when you've only done 30 laps or so, you're not going to be putting too much pressure on the tyres. You get a lot of slipping and stuff like that, especially if it's cold, but you don't always wear as much off of them. So it's sort of, you don't lose the grip. It's not a big drop off of the grip sometimes. So you sometimes can get away with the different tyre strategies this early stages, so it's not as big a gamble as some of the other tracks, it's more about sort of keeping them in a good operating temperature. You don't want to get them too hot, and that's usually the issue. It's more of a thermal degradation than an actual wear degradation issue.
As he now gets that job done, so Mickelmore moves up into P2. Matty Ray, the other big gainer, 13 spots up now, up into P5. So he did pit in that last caution period. He's managed to maintain it. He's got a little bit loose in the background there. Or Luke Georgeson, who's going to drop a spot here to Justin Howe. 486 as well of Jay Brazier coming through. Well, was very loose there for the 78. He's got really, really loose. That's affected his entry, but manages to hold it on.
Danny G now making a move on the 83 of Matty Ray. Danny G working his way up back through the field in the orange flavour of Mitch Motorsport car. The Silent Assassin, Mr. Danny the Hammer G, is doing a good job of working his way through the field and up into a good position on those fresher tyres as well. So watch him as this race unfolds. He's had some good pace tonight as well, so got a little bit out of position early on in the stint, but now he's trying to back up into the front, and I'm pretty sure Mitch Motorsport would be very happy with all three cars in the top three tonight.
No, most certainly. Most certainly. No question about it.
But between that, there is Lachlan Oakvio and Scotty Griffiths at the moment. Scotty Griffiths, we saw, has got some good pace here tonight, and he is currently battling it out with Lachlan Oakvio. A little flashback to the old days of the ANZCAR series earlier in the season, earlier this year, of course, where we saw some of the smaller tracks with those cars, and we saw Scotty Griffiths and Lachlan Oakvio having some great battles on the tracks, especially here at Lucas Oil Raceway. We saw them having a fantastic battle. So don't discount these drivers. They have got it there. Just not quite up with Martin at the moment, but it's not always an easy thing to do. Even Mickelmore is struggling to catch him on those very fresh tyres. Martin is just absolutely hammering it out there at the moment. He's gone full Martin and is trying to get another victory under his belt tonight, as well as trying to absolutely make sure he nails that nail into the coffin to secure his championship.
Yeah, absolutely. As looks like Noddy Tompkins has had. No, that was the old registration. I'm not sure one that just popped up on the time monitor there, so apologies for that. But Jason Martin still out as the lights take place. Yeah, you can just start to see them reflecting.
Yeah, the sun is very much settling here, hiding behind the hills. That lovely orange sky is appearing, and not a sign of rain in the sky, so we don't have to worry about any boat racing tonight, so that's some good news. Meanwhile, Scotty Griffiths is battling it out with Danny G at the moment. Danny G is putting all the pressure he can on the number 5 of the Synergy Racing entry driver, and there's a good little battle going on here between Griffiths and Danny G, and this is just giving Oakvio the chance to have a little bit of a breather up front. As Matty Ray, I think that was Matty Ray just getting a little bit of contact with the wall.
Brandon Hughes just said a new placement overlay or just specific to the truck series looks pretty sweet. Thanks for the feedback, Brandon. No, it's actually our old overlay. I cracked it out last week and enjoyed the change up, so I thought I'll stick with it again this time around. It just gives us a little bit of a wider view, particularly on these smaller tracks. It's very difficult to get all the trucks that we're looking at in one frame. So just go back to this for the smaller tracks.
Caution flag is out. I think it's Luke Georgeson, unfortunately. The curse of the commentator has struck fully. We can confirm.
You are a wizard, Carl. Or your warlock?
Prefer warlock,
yeah.
yes. my business cards have warlock on them, right? Luke just losing the rear end, unfortunately, mid-corner through turn 4, and a big impact into the wall, so he's going to be pretty happy about fast repairs tonight, because that's going to be a lifesaver for him.
Oh no, it's not. It's one of the things ANZCAR does absolutely is pride itself on being as close to real life as possible. But I don't mind that tonight. We've got a small field. It's the last race of the year, and it means that everyone's going to finish if they want to. So, it's not going to affect the outcome of the championship, albeit it could, but it's unlikely to anyway. I guess the top 3 or 4 drivers might disagree with me there, but good to see that Luke will be able to complete the season.
The only thing I can say is, why didn't we have it on last week when I got taken out of the race? So it's the only complaint I have about it. But it is Jason Martin still in the lead, coming out pit lane, I believe, just ahead of Josh Micklemore. So those two are going to be battling it out pretty hard for this race. They're all going to be shopping 2 different tyres. I think Michael Schroeder actually stayed out. So Schroeder, Dave Douglas, Matt Hunter stayed out. Scott Griffiths, I think, may have just pipped Martin in the pit lane. So Griffiths has come out in front. I think he only took right side. So Griffiths rolling the dice a little bit, trying a right side only gamble. Michael Schroeder in that beautiful duck egg blue truck is currently in the lead, with Dave Douglas sitting in behind him in the casting couch entry. He's going to be exploring life through the curves, trying to get some higher temperature in there. Matty Hunter sitting just behind him at the moment, with Scotty Griffiths in the area too. So Scotty Griffiths has got 2 new tyres. Everybody else has got 4. This is going to be an interesting battle.
It's one of those things when iRacing, the old swerve, the slalom, doesn't really do a lot.
But when you're a driver, it does all the difference.
Mentally it does a massive amount to warm up your mind, but it doesn't do a lot for the tyre. But that's all right, Dave will be doing that just for a bit of fun. Of course. He's
just trying to get a couple of extra miles on the truck, so it depreciates the value.
Yeah. But it will be Mike Schroeder who's going to lead us away. We've got 1 more lap behind the truck.
Bit of a reverse Ferris Bueller situation. He's trying to get some extra miles on the odometer.
Classic movie.
So good to see Michael Schroeder in the lead, in a very nice blue truck. So he's going to be doing his best for the Forked Up Esports team. That's Fork, as in F-O-R-K, of course. We poke things to make sure they're done. Like best joke. So let's move on quickly, as Dave Douglas is getting a bit racy beside him. This is going to be a interesting one, nice and close between Douglas and Schroeder right here. And we are going to get underway very shortly. When does Schroeder drop the hammer? He's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting. He's waiting till he gets on the straight, I reckon, and he drops it now, puts the hammer down. Dave Douglas gets away nicely. Dave Douglas actually gets a really good start there. He's going to probably take Schroeder here over the outside. Oh, Scotty Griffiths gets spun into big crash. Micklemore, Danny G, pretty much most of the field there. That is a disastrous wreck for those boys.
That is huge. Now, I made mention of the championship and things changing. Well, Dave Douglas stayed out of that damage. His closest contender, smack bang into it, being Josh Micklemore. So
yeah, that's going to really help Douglas in championship standings, of course. A few of those drivers will be coming in to get those repairs done, but they might drop a lap here because they are pretty far back at the moment, and it is a very short little place, so there's a chance they could actually drop a lap here, despite the fact they're going to get repairs. So Scotty Griffiths just didn't see exactly what happened in that incident properly, so just looks like he just got down into Matty Hunter, so I think he might have just had the all clear from the spotter and it did not register, and then around he goes, and Micklemore nowhere to go, gets up on Justin Howe, and then a lot of trucks getting involved in that one, nowhere to go. So a lot of people involved in that incident, a lot of big names there, and that's cost them a lot of time. That's going to drop them down positions, and I think we might see a few people dropping laps as well, just because it's taken them a bit of time to get back to pit lane, just sorting things out. Will we see all of those trucks coming in as well? I think a few of them are going to stick it out there with the damage they've got, just to see how this one goes.
The motor in the Mitch Motorsport entry of 31 was impacted from that as well. So anyway, Dave Douglas not one to complain. He'll be quite happy that everyone's out there running as well. So, but he's now up in P2. So Micklemore here will just go bang, and there we go. The truck's back to normal. Amazing. I didn't even see the pit crew even jump across the wall, but done a good job there. But yeah, he'll have to fall right back to the end here, you would think, or close enough to it. There's others who've been out for their repair as well. Has managed to not drop a lap. But here they come. He's just about to.
The skin of his teeth there,
yeah, just gets it through.
Danny G just got super lucky. He managed to get out just in front of Schroeder as well. So he might still have to drop to the back of the pack, or he might. I don't think he'll get the wave around. I think he's going to have to drop back. So it didn't work out for Danny G, unfortunately.
Well, he's still got damage on the truck, so that's interesting. Is it unlimited fast repair?
I believe so.
Because the front of the 24's still got damage on it on the right-hand side there. You can just see it there. The front of that truck's still heavily damaged, and it.
I don't think Danny got into pit lane.
No, I don't think so either. He's only done 2 stops, so
he got caught out by the pace truck because of where he got spun round. He got in a position where he I think he got caught behind the pace truck when it was leaving. Because he had to flick spin it, he got stuck behind the pace truck before it got out of pit lane, trying to get it back around in the right direction. And I reckon that's cost him dearly. So that has cost Danny G quite severely there, unfortunately.
Well, we're about to get going. Danny G at full speed and catch up. Who's at full speed? Oh, Schroeder throws the dummy. Douglas falls for it, and the Schroeder gets on the gas very, very early. But we're away and running here. The person that hasn't affected is Jason Martin, who's sitting in third. Loconoco fourth. Then it is Phelps and Raymond, Curtis Hobbs, Brazier, and Ben Vickers, our top 10 trucks at the moment as we get back underway here. 67 through 130.
Matt Hunter into the wall. We're going to get a caution. Matt Hunter and Norman Clark involved in a bit of an accident there. Looks like possibly a bit of contact from Micklemore. Oh, it's very close actually. Micklemore had a big tank slapper out the corner. Matty Hunter's just got caught up in a bit of netcode. So it's a little bit of a netcode issue there. They actually had a bit of room beside each other, but netcode decided it was not going to be. And that caught Matty Hunter up into a Norman Clark, unfortunately. So that was an unfortunate incident in that the lap of the net code gods, unfortunately. So that is one of the perils of racing online. Is if you don't know what we're talking about there, effectively you have room beside each other, but the internet sort of says, no, actually I think you were touching there, and it decides that you're going to crash. And even though you've got a gap on your screen and you've got a gap on their screen as well, sometimes the server does not play nice, and that catches you out.
It's worked out brilliantly for Danny G, who didn't make it into pit lane last time around. So he's going to get that repaired, retain his position on the lead lap, and be able to fight again. Dave Douglas getting the move done just before the caution, so he's now our race leader. So he'll be in control of things on the restart here. Wave around there for Noddy Tompkins. He's a fair few laps down though, having started the race late.
Yeah, computer issues for Noddy Tompkins. Heard over the radio he's had some major hardware issues tonight, which we saw a couple of moments as well for him. But hopefully they are all fixed up now, and he is back to things working properly, because it's never fun when technical issues happen. Of course, one of the other things, though, is it might be unlimited fast repairs, but instant penalties still apply. So you've got 12 penalties for the race until you need to take a drive-through penalty, and then 17 before you get a disqualification. So the fact that you've got some free fast repairs is great, but you still can't go throwing it around too much because you're going to get yourself a penalty or you're going to get yourself disqualified. So even though it does give you a little bit of a free pass, you don't have that much freedom. So you still have to be careful out there. There's still a chance that you can lose an awful lot of time with a penalty. If you get that black flag and you have to come through a drive-through, you have to do that in race conditions as well. So that means you're going to lose a good couple of laps.
Yep. That is very, very true. A couple of drivers will probably be close to that, actually, so they'll have to be careful.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I'm thinking very much the same thing, that they're going to be very close to instant point limits. A few drivers may even have to take it down pit lane after this restart, so I'm thinking a few will be very close to it by now. So it'll be interesting to see who does and who doesn't. And yeah, it's one of the things that makes sure that people do race with a little bit of sense, of course.
Right, the lights are out on the pace truck, so this is our last time around for this caution. So we'll be forming up 2 by 2.
Watch out for Lachlan Urquio here on the fresh tyres. 15 laps old, those tyres now. Sitting next to Jason Martin, of course, and Maddie Raymond and Ruben Phelps. So some very fast trucks up the front. You've got Riley Curtis and Brendan Hobbs having a good run as well up there in 8th at the moment, but those guys are going to be very, very quick, I reckon, on this restart. Dave Douglas launches the truck away, gets a nice restart there, moves up after the line to get in that high line, but Lachlan Urquio deciding he's going to stick it down low, use the grip of those tyres as much as he can, and use it to his advantage. Oh! Tap there from Schroeder into Dave Douglas, and that's caught Jason Martin out. Huge, huge accident for Martin. He has taken a huge wallop there. Around they go. That was a big one.
It was huge.
Did Manny Ray get through that one okay? I think he possibly
Yeah, I think he did.
He survived that somehow. Manny Ray just squeezing his way through there, taking a deep breath and surviving that one.
So again here, the benefit of those fast repairs is definitely going rear its ugly head again.
Yeah, they're going to be happy for some fast repairs. But as I said, you've got to be careful of the instant points right here, because there are going to be some drivers that are going to be getting close to those instant limits, I reckon. Lachlan Urquio just sticking it out there at the moment. I think he's just going to keep it out for track position. That truck looking a little bit worse for wear at the front. Quite a bit of damage, and this is going to favour Ruben Phelps Schroeder and Maddie Ray at the moment. They're going to be sitting fairly pretty as it stands, so we'll see how that one goes. Martin, Howe and Douglas all in pit lane. I think Jason Martin definitely needed that repair because his engine was about to expire. That thing was not going to last much longer.
Yeah, absolutely. So Urquio with some damage there. A couple jumping into the chat. Daiso saying what a race, and down the autocorrect, and Higley saying what the heck's going on, it's a massacre of a race. Absolutely, it's all my fault. At the top of the show I said that we'd probably go caution free, and that's it was wishful thinking. I apologise profusely for it. It was a rookie mistake. Carl's also hit a couple of people with the witch's hat on the way through, so it's just one of those nights, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, a bit of a rough one out there, and it's been a tricky one tonight, and it's a bit of a different race, of course, but it's a little bit of fun to the end of the season. Speaking of fun, there may be a bit of a fun race coming up. Maddie Hunter may be organising one of those come one of the nights in the future, so keep an eye on that on the ANZCAR page. If you are, of course, a member of the racing community and member of ANZCAR Racing, it sounds like it might be a bit of a fun one, and maybe intentionally a bit of a demo dab.
So there are rumours that some particular commentators might be racing in that race as well, Carl?
Possibly. This one is we're seeing how we can get together things. So It might just be thrown up just for a little bit of a laugh, maybe not broadcast completely. But we might run a bit of a delayed broadcast on it just for some fun.
Leighton Curtis jumping in with a typical, hoping the cats are okay in Riley's car.
They're a little bit shaky.
Fair to say there's a fair bit of kitty litter all over the interior. Leighton.
I think the cats will definitely be very shaken. Maybe a little bit deferred as well from that one. A couple of incidents there. They lost a bit of fur. I think Dave Douglas pulling in. I think he's actually maybe pulling out of this race, unfortunately.
Yeah, what's going on there? Obviously with the repairs, he's on the lead lap still, so maybe. Oh, you know what I think he's doing? He did get into Riley. I think obviously accidentally because it's Dave, but he did get into Riley, just not holding the brake there out of that accident and spun him. So maybe just letting Riley go past, doing the gentlemanly thing. And he's back in a pit lane again. What's going on? Oh, he's probably got the drive-through.
You can't serve it
under... Oh, you can't serve it under caution.
No. But we are back under green flag racing, so maybe that has been timed. So we'll see how that one goes. But it is Lachlan Urquhart in the lead of this race at the moment over Ruben Phelps. Schroeder sitting a little bit further back.
There's a queue.
Justin Howe, Matt Hunter coming in, Luke Georgeson. So a few of those guys serving their penalties now. So I think a few drivers have got the naughty on the naughty list today and now having to serve their drive-through penalties. But this has given the chance for Lachlan Urquhart to get a good bit of a lead at the moment. Despite that truck looking a little bit worse for wear, he's managing to hold it out front. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, Jason Martin is trying to get the job done on Ben Vickers, trying to work his way back up through the field, back up to the front of this pack. Maddie Raymond currently sitting in P3, has got Josh Micklemore chomping at his heels, trying to chase him down. And Ruben Phelps is trying to get back up to the front to get another win in the Truck Series this year.
Yeah, be keen to do that. 81 at 130 here. And fairly hefty damage on a couple of trucks getting around there. And some lap traffic now involved as well as Dave Douglas goes a lap down. Josh Micklemore getting real aggressive down on that low line, trying to get underneath. Matty Ray not able to get it done though, not able to close it out. But here he goes again, just trying to get it underneath. Mitch Motorsport entry. Still no, just had to jump off it a little bit there to avoid getting into the back of Matty Ray. Does so now, gets a good entry into the corner. This could be it for him.
Real close racing just behind as well between Hobbs, Danny G and Schroeder. Those guys are very close to each other with Sender Esports just getting down on the Mitch Motorsport of Danny G at the moment on the inside line. Some really good racing up the front. It is Micklemore taking over the position from Matty Ray at the moment, and that has championship possibilities to it. Matty Ray wants to have a good strong finish to his championship season here tonight, trying for P2. It is pretty much Jason Martin's to lose, and I think he can only do that if he manages to do some incredibly big things on track with penalties. So it's very much his championship with 1.5 hands on the trophy at the moment. Meanwhile, up the front, okay, still in the lead over Phelps, doing a good job with that damaged truck, keeping it up there very well. The After Dark fan club have appeared. Aaron Hayden, hey, welcome. It's good to see you out there. Luke Georgeson currently just 2 laps down after having to serve a bit of a drive-through penalty for a couple of incidents and having a big accident actually on the start-finish line, bringing out a caution a few laps ago. But we've got a battle going on now for second place. It is Micklemore on Phelps. Micklemore getting a really good run in the 31 at the moment. Josh Micklemore is the driver on a charge as Lachlan Urquhart has a big loss of connection. Look, he manages to get back, so big disconnect for Lachlan Urquhart, but manages to, the internet has saved itself for him. That would have been devastating for that to happen, and just the kind of luck that Lockie has sometimes, but he's managed to keep it out there at the moment. But Josh Micklemore is currently trying to make the move on Ruben Phelps. They're side by side again as they come across the start-finish line. Phelps on the outside, Micklemore on the inside. Dave Douglas trying to keep it on a well, the first car on a lead lap at the moment. He's not in the battle for position, but he is trying to keep that car on the first car a lap down so he can get the lucky dog if that yellow flag flies. Jason Martin moving his way up through the field with Danny G as well. Those two Mish cars are on a mission at the moment to get back up to their rightful place at the front of the field. They feel they had a really good lead at the start of this race. A big accident earlier on cost them a few positions, but Urko is still leading at the moment. Micklemore is really putting the pressure on Ruben Phelps. Ruben Phelps doing a great job of defending at the moment.
Yeah, he's just holding his line really well. Not getting too panicked about Micklemore, who keeps just showing the nose down the inside, sticking to that line, just getting a better drive out of the corner and being able to keep the Aussie Esports entry just up there. Danny G getting a little high. That's opened him up to Jason Martin, I should say, who's looking like he wants to get the move done and head with Jason Martin. Maybe Micklemore now just finally getting that done. Lachlan Urquhart jogging in on the spot just in front of them here, just holding that 3/10 gap.
Ruben Phelps is getting a good run off the corners. He's getting a good run on the straight. Micklemore's got the run on the inside, so Micklemore, slightly fresher tyres, is getting that run on the inside line a little bit, but Phelps is getting the run on that high line, able to get a little bit more speed out of the truck. So doing a really good job. Lachlan Upco doing a fantastic job of keeping that rather mangled looking Australia-New Zealand Combined Racing League entry truck in the lead at the moment. Despite being on old tyres and with a very bent front end, that truck has still got some speed.
Tompkins had an issue. It doesn't look like it's brought the caution out.
And they're getting very close to the back of Urquhart right now. Ruben Phelps is right on his tail as they stand. They're coming up to quite a bit of lap traffic as well. This is going to get the race going for sure. We're getting up to quite a few lapped cars, and it looks like Luke Georgeson and Matt Hunter will be getting caught relatively soon. But Ruben Phelps is trying to get down the inside right now. Phelps is trying to make a move on Urquhart. Can he make it? Not quite yet. Danny G trying to make a move on Micklemore as well. So the two Mitch Motorsport cars are side by side as well, just behind Urquhart and Phelps battling it out at the front too. We have got a fantastic fight for the lead going on at the moment. All the top six cars are, top six cars are basically within touching distance of each other at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny G's got some pace. He's trying to put the moves on. Micklemore just tries to switch back now underneath. Ruben Phelps looks like he might be able to close this one out this time. No, again, Phelps just gets a really good exit from the corner. So Josh Micklemore has to comply again. Jason Martin saying, get out of the way, it's my turn. If you're not going to be able to get it done, I'll make my way through instead. So 21 challenging Micklemore there, but just missing out. So Martin drops them a few tenths. And now it's Micklemore again.
This is some absolute classic racing going on right here. Fantastic driving from all of these guys. Just absolute nose to tail at the moment. And it's Lachlan Urquhart leading the pack as it stands. Ruben Phelps is right on his tail, and then you have the Mitch train behind them. But with them fighting,
into the wall. Sorry, Urquhart into the wall. That's allowed Ruben Phelps to get a better run. Phelps just closes up on him there. He's going to get the drive here. He's going to take over at the head of this race. Oh no, he gets a little loose mid-corner. That slowed him down. So Urquhart could get the lead back here.
Douglas just losing the truck, manages to save it. Urquhart into the wall once more. Urquhart manages to save it, checks it up behind him. Little bit of a check up there. They're running full wide almost down straight here at Lucas Oil Raceway here in Indianapolis. That is great truck control there from everybody. Just keep that one feathering it through. Okay, was just softly passing the steering wheel through his hands to keep that one pointing straight to the slab. Ruben Phelps to get in the lead of the race. Now Micklemore going down the inside. Danny G up into the wall this time round. That's going to slow him down a little bit. That's given Matty Ray the chance to make a move as well. Matty Ray getting a move on Jason Martin and Danny G now. And he's going to try his bet and see if he can get past Urquhart. Micklemore has managed to make the move. Urquhart trying to get the up and under. Can't quite make it work this time round. This is giving Ruben Phelps a little bit of breathing room.
As it almost looks like they're just sliding their way through this at the moment. It's fantastic to watch. Mitch Boy's just fighting as well. But now Looks like Matty Race just dropped off a little bit now, so Danny G starts to attack the 42 of Lachlan Urquio. Josh Micklemore's getting a breather now as he moves on and tries to get onto the back of Ruben Phelps to challenge for the lead of the race. And Urquio up into the wall again. Just spent a little bit too much of the tyre. He's just struggling on that turn in.
Wondering how much damage is affecting him as well, of course. Maybe a little bit of geometry damage on the suspension, just causing him to struggle a little bit, maybe using a little bit more tyre than some of the rest of the drivers. But this has given Phelps a chance to get a nice little bit of a lead at the moment. Micklemore is keeping him honest by about half a second, and then another second it falls back to Danny G at the moment in third position. So Danny G's got a lot of time to make up on the leaders now. So he will be trying his best to get up close. Jason Martin can't quite make it past Urquio as it stands, but we'll see how this little battle unfolds. But at the moment, Ruben Phelps is doing a good job in the lead, just holding position and keeping a commanding place in this race.
Just updating the chat. Evening, Trev. Thanks for joining us. Luke, enjoying the racing. Talking about managing, Mitch boys managing their tyres, probably winning. That's one of the reasons you should be out here tonight, Luke. And high glute podium shutout would be a sweet way to end the season. It would, and certainly wouldn't be the first one that Mitch Motorsport have produced this year, but it would be a fitting way to end it for them. I think Ruben Phelps has got other plans though, as he tries to take out the second victory for Aussie Air Esports. So
Jason Martin's got past Urquio now, and lurking behind him is Matty Ray. So Ray trying to get up underneath him. Big slide job from Matty Ray, manages to keep that truck pointing in the right direction. Scotty Griffiths 3 laps down. Unfortunately, we saw Scotty Griffiths having a good run early on in this race, but falling off, getting a bit of damage penalty and having that big incident. But he is trying to get back some of those laps now to try and get at least back on the lead lap. That would be probably his favoured place, but at the moment he's Luke Georgeson, the car that's 2 laps down, the first of the back group, so to say. So Luke Georgeson in a little bit of a shout to get back on the lead lap if we get a couple of cautions. So it might not be all over for after dark. The lights may not be out for that driver yet.
So Micklemore and Phelps are on board with Josh Micklemore here. You see off in the distance there, it's Matt Hunter and Luke Georgeson. Just have a listen to how he's having to manage the throttle here now. Patience before getting onto it. And both drivers there are actually going to rue your decision. Just looks like Ruben Phelps is just struggling a little bit more than Josh Micklemore. Of course, Micklemore's tyres slightly younger. 7 laps to the good over Ruben Phelps. And here again, just able to turn in 31. Phelps running that higher line, won't have anything of it. You saw how difficult it was for them to pass him before. He's going to keep fighting.
Yeah, he's going to want to try and close out this season as strong as possible. Danny G, a big hit into the wall there, lifting the truck off on 2 wheels for a couple of moments. He's managed to save that somehow and not get completely thrown out of the race. That was very lucky for him indeed, but that's going to give Jason Martin a little bit of a run now. So it'll be a little bit of Mitch on Mitch action at the back there. Orange on purple. Who's going to get that one out? We'll find out soon. Lachlan Urquio just managing to make his way back past Matty Raymond though. So Urquio just getting a little bit of pace back, getting settled back into that truck. So again, having a fairly decent run in that truck, despite having the most damage of anyone out there.
20 laps to go here. Battle firmly poised for a shootout.
Got 19 laps remaining. It is going to be a photo finish, you get the feeling, as these trucks are so close to each other at the moment. But it is Ruben Phelps from Zia Esports currently in the lead ahead of Josh Micklemore, of course, in the Mitch entry, Danny G in the Mitch entry, and Jason Martin in the Mitch entry.
Luke Trahere requesting an autographed an autographed copy of a picture with Matty Ray. Mr. Shane, happy to pay for postage. I'm pretty sure he'd do that for you, Luke.
Does it have to be a photo of him holding a coffee, though? That's the question.
Not too sure. I think a fan favourite probably deserves the accolades, deserves the fandom.
He does indeed, and well, he might be cheating a little bit tonight because of those fast repairs, but he's keeping that truck as clean as possible. A little bit of damage on the right front, and he is trying his best to fight it out with Lachlan at the moment to finish off his season as strong as possible as well. Matty Ray currently sitting in second in the championship, of course, and he's in a bit of a battle with Josh Micklemore, so he's going to want to keep as close as he can to Josh Micklemore. Of course, those drop rounds will come into effect as well, so there are some drop rounds to come from this one. So we'll see how they unfold things for the rest of the championship. But at the moment, it is Jason Martin doing a nice little slide underneath Danny G at the moment. Those Mitch boys are absolutely busting it out with each other, having a good race between all three of them. But while they're racing, this is just allowing Ruben Phelps to creep away at the front, 15 laps remaining.
He is doing just that. So the way postage is in Victoria. Oh, as Micklemore gets into the wall, that's going to allow Danny G and Jason Martin, perhaps. Not Jason Martin so much. Didn't affect him too badly. But Danny G has put the challenge down. Going to make his way up into P2. Try and close that out. Not given quite so. He's got a caution.
Flag is out. I think it might be Noddy Tompkins. Noddy Tompkins has gone around, just had the truck step out on him, managed to save it, get it back going, but unfortunately the flag has flown. So we are going to get a dash to the end here.
Yeah, we've spoken about this before. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous that the system that can, dictate that tyres go off and that causes a caution.
It's unfortunately very, very keen marshals. Apparently, that's it. I think that's the problem. The marshals are just so keen on the flags that they just want to just jump it out there. Now, everybody coming into pit lane, I think, looks like it is indeed. So everybody coming in for a fresh set of boots for the battle at the end. Who is going to gamble with rights only here? Who is going to possibly stick it out and see if they can do anything towards the end of this race? We could see a surprise upset here with a few people. This is going to be fantastic news for Lachlan. Okay, he's going to get that repair done on his truck, so he's going to have a fresh truck to go out there. They're going to 3D print a new body for that thing and repair all of the truck nice and quickly. Looks like most people have gone for all 4 sets of tyres. And I think everybody is going for all 4. Jason Martin having a bit of a tardy pit stop.
I was about to say, was anyone going to run the gauntlet and just pop the 2 on? Make up a few positions? Justin Howe deciding to stay out there. So how does this play out championship wise? Dave Douglas has parked himself on the couch, so he is out of the race. Matty Ray comes out in 6th position, up 12 spots.
Yeah, so the main battle is really between Matty Ray and Micklemore at the moment. That's going to be the one, and it's going to be a little bit decided on drop rounds. So Matty Ray currently on 377 points, Josh Micklemore on 368 points, so not much between them. It is very close, and with the drop rounds coming into effect, that could change things up a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely. So how's this going to play out for Justin Howe on the restart here? He's going to have worn tyres. Lap 74, he grabbed those. On lap 120 now. So should be able to get some heat into them a little bit better. We're going to have 10 laps, what are we going to have, 8 laps to go by the time the truck comes in. In fact, the lights are out now just to make that inaccurate, so we're going to have 9 laps to run. And he is going to have some reasonably hungry cars around him wanting to take out that P1. Ruben Phelps will be absolutely keen to get the win. as the truck comes in. How he goes straight away. Doesn't wait at all. That catches Phelps out, who's going to get eaten up here potentially by the Mitch Motorsport boys. It's just like he's on that high line as Howe gets loose in the corner. That slows up, checks up the group. I'm going to say Danny G's probably in the best position here. On the exit though, Ruben Phelps gets the hammer down. So Phelps trying to make up that gap, go round the outside if he can. It's a challenge to do that. Howie's just managing to hold on here. Phelps ahead of the two Mitch cars. It was a little bit loose there for Mickelmore. He's got up into the wall lightly.
Your trucks getting up into the wall as well as Urquio and Schroeder, all of those just touching the wall slightly. Ruben Phelps gets a really good run on Justin Howell this time, gets underneath him, slides it through there. Howell trying to save position, tries to get a good run off the exit. Norman Clark round it in the background. Will we get a caution come out? We do indeed. We had a couple of trucks going round in the background. I think Luke Georgeson may have, Ben Vickers may have been one of them. Yes, Ben Vickers. So Norman Clark got tagged down to the infield, bit of contact from the back there, and that sent him down, just tapped the back of Ben Vickers and spun him round.
It was really good driving from Phelps and Howe on the restart. In fact, from all the way front pack. Just trying to sort themselves out. Phelps with a great move down the inside, just couldn't obviously go in deep, get it to turn back enough, and that allowed Howie to get down underneath him. Push back hard for that lead. But we are 6 laps to go here.
It's going to be a dash to the end here at Lucas Oil Raceway here in Indiana, of course. It's going to be a fantastic little dash to the end. So who is going to get this victory? It's still anyone's to play for, you got to say. And well, everybody's to lose almost, because we still have pretty much everybody down to 14th on the lead lap. So everybody down to Norman Clark on the lead lap, of course. It's going to be a pretty big battle at the front, and it's just going to be who gets that restart right that's going to get it paying off. Of course, Ruben Phelps is going to be the truck that's going to start off. He's going to be the one that gets it underway. If Philip Howe can actually if Justin Howe gets this one timed to perfection, he could get a good run here and could possibly absolutely sneak a victory into the final race of the season. But don't discount Josh Mickelmore as well. He's going to be pretty hungry back there as well. He's going to want to finish strong for the championship season as well. And of course, for Mitch Motorsport.
We're going to go around for an extra lap. Noddy Tompkins, internet or connection issues continue to plague him, or PC issues continue to plague him. He's crashed just under the pace truck here. So we're going to get one extra lap, which means it is going to be 3 to go to close out Season 3 2021. Crown ourselves a new champion. I think that results in question now. The placings, however, are. So at this stage, Matty Ray, we're trying to look to do something to get in front of Josh Mickelmore if he can. Ruben Phelps wanting to take out the second victory for Aussie Esports. Justin Howe looking for a win as well. And of course, Josh Mickelmore, Danny G and Jason Martin, when they love to lock out the top 3 spots in the final race in 2021.
Or the truck series, they would dearly love it because they have had a really strong truck race season, as is often the case with Mitch. They tend to do well in these trucks. But of course, they've got one more race for the ANZCAR calendar coming up as well with the Cup. So if they don't manage the lockout here tonight, they might be able to manage a lockout at Phoenix to get all 3 trucks up in the broadcast booth for one last time at this season. But right now, we're going to get to a green-white checker situation. So there will be no more cautions now. This is it. So we are on the last little dash to the end. It's going to be Ruben Phelps leading the way, Justin Howe in the lads car, ahead of Josh Mickelmore, Danny G, Michael Schroeder, Matty Ray, Jason Martin, Riley Curtis, Lachlan Urquhart and Brent Hobbs. Brent Hobbs having a really good run as well, up 9 positions in the Sender Esports car, and yeah, having a really good run at the moment, Brent Hobbs.
So in comes the truck. Here we go with the final restart, hopefully for 2021. Phelps gets away really well. Justin Howe on the outside equally gets a good start with Josh Mickelmore down underneath. Danny G jogging on the spot in the background, looking for an opportunity to find his way through. Can Phelps close the nose on the Mitch Motorsport boys in the background? Mike Schroeder gets a little bit loose as Howe goes sideways. Howe sideways.
Caution out.
Danny G involved.
Big accident there that has wrecked a lot of trucks there, and that is going to be that one. That is going to mean that Ruben Phelps is going to come home with the victory tonight. Mickelmore is going to come home second, with Michael Schroeder in third.
Yeah. Jason Martin gets up into fourth, and it's going to be Matty Ray in fifth. Riley Curtis with a wet sail, sixth. Lachlan Urquhart, seventh. Eighth is going to be Jay Brazier, Matt Hunter ninth, and Danny G is going to finish 10th. But a win is a win, and Ruben Phelps takes one out for Aussie Esports. And it'd be fair to say a deserved win anyway. It would have been great to see the run to the line, however, with those last few drivers. Let's just jump back quickly and have a look at that incident. The Howe got sideways. You can see it there, and Danny G just gets caught up in it. Matty Ray, by the skin of his teeth, just gets through. So does Lachlan Urquhart. Ben Vickers looking for somewhere to go, finds nothing but the rear of the 24 Mitch Motorsport entry. Matty Hunter gets caught up looking for a way around. Luke Georgeson, who just got back onto the lead lap, he got caught up in it as well. Scotty Griffiths, who's had probably a night to forget by his standards, he got stuck in as well, and it was just all she wrote for all those drivers. But let's get back to this man celebrating a win here, the final race of the year, his second win in Aussie colours in the Truck Series.
Been a great close to the season for the Zia team. Ruben Phelps, a bit like Butters, he's been waiting a long time for a win to come, and then two come along in very short succession, taking the win at Nashville a couple of weeks back, and again tonight. It has been Ruben Phelps' domination in the broadcasts, of course. Jason Martin taking the win at Charlotte last time out in the untelevised race, but Ruben is going to do a reverse lap right here, doing the old trick to wind back the miles on the clock to get a little bit more value on that truck.
Oh dear me, Carl. What a finish. It's not how I expected the season to finish. Jason Martin just flying around for a couple of laps.
I think Martin's he's able to celebrate there because he has a championship under his belt. Because it's not just a win for Ruben Phelps tonight, it is a win for Jason Martin. He may not have been on the podium, may not be in the top three, but he is the season 3 truck champion. Jason Martin takes out the truck championship victory tonight, so he is going to be celebrating in style for that one.
Maybe a couple of very solid lines up the road. Score, they're building strong. I think doing a very good job of blowing up the motor.
Managing to keep that diff going. I'm surprised about that. Oh, very good run, and again Martin getting another championship for the Mitch colours this season. Of course, 2 championships in the Xfinity Series in Thunder with Hamish Gallagher. Jason Martin taking out season 3 of the Truck Championship for Mitch Motorsport, of course. Saw Stevie Williams winning the first championship at the beginning of the year for DPR. Jason Martin winning it in the end. Edward Foster in the middle. 3 different champions this season in the little splits that they are, but a really good result for tonight for Ruben Phelps, taking out his second victory of the his ANZCAR career. Second, Josh Mickelmore. Michael Schroeder, a very strong P3 for him. Jason Martin, 4th, but championship winner. 5th for Matty Ray. Riley Curtis comes home 6th. Lachlan Urquhart, 7th. 8th for Jay Brazier. Matt Hunter in 9th. And 10th for Danny G.
Yeah, great way to finish the season on. There finally goes the motor in the Mitch entry. let's get our top 3 drivers in here.
So just quickly as well for we'll do the interviews first before I go through championship stuff. Actually, we'll just do the interviews first, okay?
Okie dokie. We'll get Mike Schroeder, get Josh Micklemore in here as well, and just looking for Ruben. There he is. So got our top 3 in here, Carl. Let's have a chat.
So let us start with, as traditional, the 3rd place finisher. Welcome to the broadcast booth, Mr. Michael Schroeder. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. It's first time I've been here.
Yes, it's nice to have you up here at last. It's been a while since I've been able to have a bit of a chat to you. Very strong finish tonight. Maybe a little bit of a surprise at the end there. You were sort of sitting in the middle of the pack there, and then all of a sudden it opened up and you had the opportunity to run yourself up into P3 for this race.
Yeah, pretty lucky. A lot more arse than class, mate, I can tell you.
Like, it's sometimes luck is better than skill, but you had some really good skill out there tonight. I mean, you managed to keep it pointing in the right direction all night long, and you were there or thereabouts throughout the race, of course. We saw earlier on deciding to run some different strategies as well.
Yeah, I had to try something different, and unfortunately Dave got in my way at some point, so I had to move him out of the way, and I'm sure he'll get me back at some stage. But yeah, it was a good race.
Oh, absolutely. And look, it's, as I say, it's nice to have you up here finally to properly get to speak to you, of course, in the Forked Up Esports entry. But a really strong race for you to finish off the season for the trucks. Is this a hopeful sign of things to come for next year for you?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm doing more of the ovals now than I was road racing, so I seem to go reasonably better with the ovals, but also a bit better on my neck and shoulders, because that's the problem with road racing with me.
Yes, it can be quite punishing. That's the trouble with sim racing. It still takes a bit out of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, mate, especially for an old fella like me, mate. Definitely takes it out of me.
Oh, I know that feeling. Oh, look, congratulations on P3. Well done to you and the team, and that beautiful duck egg blue colour as well on the truck. We do like to talk colours up here in the booth sometimes. Before I let you move on, though, the usual thing is shout out and love to sponsors.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank ANZCAR. Great series. Not just because I'm up here, I've always enjoyed ANZCAR. It's always been run professionally, and definitely the premier series in Australia for iRacing and NASCAR, but also MLA Holdings, the Mitsubishi and Nichu forklift dealer, and Seal Batteries. Yeah, so they're my main partners, and yeah, thank you very much for everything. And also well done to Rubes on the win, and also to Josh.
Not a problem, Mr. Schroeder. Well done again on the P3. I'm hoping we'll get you back up here in the booth next season.
That's the plan, Carl. That's the plan.
We won't see the last of you here. Thank you so much, Michael.
I might also thank you guys as well, because the FGM cast and everything like that is just really, really good, and it's credit to you guys.
Thank you. We do try our best. Next up, we will head to the P2 finisher, the 31, the Mitch Motorsport entry, Mr. Josh Micklemore. Congratulations on the P2 tonight.
Hey guys, yeah, cheers. It was good fun. Good hard racing.
Yeah, we saw a bit of hard racing out there. I mean, obviously there was a little bit of difference tonight, as there was a little option that was not clicked off tonight, which allowed for a bit more, maybe a little bit more risky moves taken than some of the other nights.
Yeah, car got written off middle of the night, but then we noticed a little bit earlier that there's fast repairs as well, so we took advantage of that and got it fixed and raced back up there again.
Yes, I imagine if you hadn't noticed that fast repairs were on, I imagine you thought your night was over and done with, and then all of a sudden the lights came on, and all of a sudden you went, oh, okay, things are back to it. Because obviously it wasn't just racing position tonight; it was racing for sort of a better finish in the championship as well for yourself, and of course trying to finish as close as you could to your teammate, Mr. Jason Martin.
Yeah, I'm not sure where where we were in points. I haven't looked for a while in this series after the bad run I've had, but yeah, we was out to have a bit of fun tonight, and I think it looked like it too. We're all bloody driving pretty hard there. It was good fun.
Well, I can be the bearer of good news for you because, by the looks of things, you have finished in P2, so in the championship.
Oh,
So
right.
even with the run of bad luck, you still managed to get up there. It's just, it's unsurprising to the rest of us. You just pipped Matty Ray just by 4 points in the end. So congratulations on that one. Another strong finish though for the Mitch Motorsport team.
Yeah. Jay said we came in at 46 points in the lead, I think, tonight. So, yeah, big congrats to Jace. He's had a stellar season in the trucks again. He seems to be bloody good in these trucks. So, yeah, it's a good job to him, man. And yeah, the other boys, we had some good results throughout the season as well. But, yeah, good fun racing.
Congratulations on the P2. Before I let you go, Mr. Micklebore, the usual thing, shout out and love to sponsors.
Yeah, so the other boys, Mitch Motorsports, for all the work they've been doing this year. Nearly ready for the off season. BK Designs for sponsorship all year, and also Michael Schroeder. Good to see you up here, mate. And Ruben for the win, mate. It's good hard racing with you too, buddy, and everyone else. I was racing hard there at the end. Yeah, and ANZCAR for everything they've done so far the whole year, and you guys as well for all the brilliant broadcasts.
You're always welcome. Thank you so much, Josh. Have a good rest of the night, and we will see you off in the Cup Series later in the week.
No worries, guys.
And finally, we head to the returning Mr. Ruben Phelps. We didn't get to broadcast last week, so it's been 2 weeks of broadcast victories for you and Aussie at Esports. Congratulations, Ruben.
Yeah, thank you. I did miss last week, but I guess it's 2 from 2 in the broadcast standpoint, so it's good.
That's it. As the viewers will have seen, it's basically it looks like you've dominated these last few races now. So it's been a very good couple of races for yourself.
Yeah, it's actually quite surprising because the truck was not handling as well as it was in practice, and I was very loose off the corner, loose into the corner, tight in the centre, and in practice it was going into the corner nicely. I could turn on the bottom and all sorts, and it just changed completely, and I was not comfortable at the start, but I just sort of let the race play out, and fortunately a few guys just wrecked in front of me, and I went bye-bye as soon as they went down into the infield. So I was like, oh, okay, there we go, here's the track position. And then there was a good battle with Josh for a while. I could not get that truck to be stable off the corner, but thankfully it was just enough drive to keep him on the bottom that thankfully gave me the slingshot.
Yeah, look, you had a fantastic slingshot getting towards that green-white checker on Justin Howe as well. So a very nice last-minute move to get yourself up into the lead. But you sort of, as you say, you're struggling a little bit tonight, but you were there or thereabouts pretty much all night long.
Yeah, it sort of started. I lost a 10th off my qualifying lap time because I nearly half spun it coming off turn 4, so it screwed up my second lap as well. So I would have been a lot further up at the start. But no, the truck was definitely handling like, let's just say, it was handling like dog for most of that race. But thankfully, I just took it easy. I went to the back of the field for a wee bit just to sort of let the car and the truck just go and just drive nicely and just take it easy and let everybody else sort of do their part. Luckily, there was that fast repair, so even if I was involved in something, you knew you could fix it. But I actually did the race without getting an incident, and I didn't even get a scratch on my truck tonight, so I didn't even need to use anything.
Well, that's something I was actually going to touch on, because I sort of was keeping an eye on who got involved in what, and you managed to keep it absolutely perfectly clean out there. So even if the fast repairs weren't on tonight, you had a really good run out there. And we're saying just before, it's a bit like buses. You know, you've been waiting for a win for ages, then all of a sudden 2 come along at once.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty shocking, but I suppose that once you get that first one out of the way, they just start rolling for you. But of course, that just means your mentality is a lot stronger than it was previously. And then you start, obviously, after a while, once wins get taken away, or you know you're being fast and miss out on a win or anything, or podium even, you start doubting yourself, thinking, oh, is this really going to happen or is this not going to happen? And then suddenly turns change once you get that first win, and then they just keep coming.
Well, hopefully it will be the case that they keep coming for next season as well. Hopefully we'll see you and the rest of Izia back nice and strong for a very big competition next year out.
Yeah, definitely, and we're going to have a few more vehicles on the track hopefully next season with a brand new scheme, so that's still to be announced and shown, so we'll look forward to that.
We will indeed. And before I let you go, the usual thing of shout out and love to sponsors and people in general.
But I've got to shout out FGM for the broadcast. Of course, the year's coming to an end, so I'm not sure what's on the schedule for anything between now and Christmas, or actually New Year, I should say. So it'd be good to, once that all restarts next year, will be quite good to watch back, especially knowing what the schedules and everything's like. But no, I've got to thank ANZCAR and being a part of it, obviously creating it with Aiden there. All the other guys are racing in a different league tonight, so that's why I'm the Lone Ranger. They didn't want to race with me. That was a bit rude, but nah, it's all good. They wanted to do some IndyCar racing, but I was got to shout out them guys, Brett Campbell and Tristan Koch, and of course Danny G for hosting the Truck League for ANZCAR, and yeah, that's good.
Thank you so much, Ruben. Congratulations again on the second win of the season. Hopefully many more to come next year.
Oh, for sure.
And finally, we will drag down our Season 3 champion, the Purple Master himself, the number 21 Mitch Motorsport, Mr. Jason Martin. Congratulations on another truck championship under your belt.
Oh, yes, thanks, mate. That was a good, fun season. I really enjoy the trucks.
Well, we know you're strong in these trucks. You tend to be one of the harder people to beat out there, and this season was one of those seasons where you proved that to be the case.
Yeah, what can I say? It's one of my favourite cars. I like it a lot more than the Cup car, and I just think it's a bit more fun. You can use a bit more technique, and if we get long green flag runs, it's good fun to race. Yeah, it's a fun car. Everyone should jump in and give it a go.
I fully agree. I do love the trucks. I miss racing them dearly, but what can I say? I'm stuck up here in the broadcast booth, which is not a bad thing because I get to enjoy watching races where we get to see your skill shining. And tonight was a little bit of a struggle for you. You got caught up in a couple of instances, but you still managed to finish in 4th position. Luckily, those fast repairs were open for you tonight.
Yeah, I definitely needed one tonight. That came in handy, but yeah, it was a fun race when it stayed green for a bit, but yeah, a bit messy, but that's what happens on short tracks.
The joy of short tracks. Obviously, another championship under your belt, which is always a nice feeling. It's been a very strong season, though, for Mitch's Motorsport. Obviously, Hamish getting the 2 wins in the Xfinity Series, yourself getting the championship here in the trucks as well. You must be pretty happy about this.
Yeah, always good seeing a team do well. We had some awesome results through the year and a couple of championships for us. That's awesome. And yeah, great racing between us. We like to race each other hard and have a bit of fun. We don't care about points too much. So we like to race and have some fun and hopefully put on a bit of a show for people watching.
Well, you did indeed. You gave us some great stuff to watch, yourself, Josh, and of course Danny as well. Unfortunately, getting a little bit caught up in the bad side of the directs tonight. But we saw some great action out there. Of course, it's not over for you guys yet. There's still the chase to come. It's a bit of an outside shot for yourself and Joshy. But Hamish has a bit of a chance for that one. So could we see Mitch doing a absolute wash of the championship season for the end of this week?
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen, but yeah, it could be interesting. We'll see what happens.
Well, we'll have to see if the Mitch Phoenix rises from the ashes as we head to Phoenix Motor Speedway on Thursday. But before I let you go, Jason, shout out and love to your sponsors because you deserve to let them all have a fantastic word tonight.
First off, got to thank all the boys at Mitch Motorsports. We've had a pretty good year. Without them, I probably wouldn't be racing as much as I do at the moment. So got to thank them for keeping me interested. So, BK Designs for sponsoring the team. And of course, FGM ECAST for putting on the broadcast, and ANZCAR for the series. Best Oval League in Australia and New Zealand.
Thank you so much, Jason. Absolute pleasure. Congratulations on the championship, and I'm sure we will see you back in the booth shortly.
Thanks, mate.
I'll just quickly chime in, Jason. Mate, next time, can you put on a Ben Rhodes interview for us? You're a truck champion. We expect you, being a truck champion, to be half drunk and talking about your best mate, Bud.
Maybe if it was an hour later. Still a bit too early here.
Well, I think we'll have to have a special broadcast for this one. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much again, and we look forward to the drunk interview sometime, Jason.
Thanks, guys.
Well done.
Yeah, so do I.
So, Stuart, the trucks are done and dusted for the year. We have just one race remaining in the ANZCAR series, and that is the Cup coming up on Thursday night. But we also have the AusPass tomorrow.
Yeah, AusPass back again tomorrow from 7:20 with Pass 2, and then back into the main game, and that's all coming to you from mid-Ohio, back in the GT3s as well. So looking forward to see how that season develops into its second half of its final season. And, of course, as you say, back on Thursday night, 7:45 for the outcome of the chase to bring the ANZCAR season 2021 to a close. That championship very much still in the open, with one Edward the Godfather Foster in the lead ahead of the chasing Tay-Tay. And whether or not that plays out or not, we will only have a couple of days left to wait and see. So until then, Carl, tomorrow night we're back here 7:20 FGM ECAST, your E-Place for Pace. Thank you as always for tonight, and we will see you all tomorrow night, same place, same time, on FGM ECAST. Thanks for watching.